On this episode of Pimp My Gun, we're going to be taking a look at the new lever-action marksman rifle, the Essex, which when Pack-a-Punch gets 2 hidden abilities. And to make sure we're getting this to its maximum potential, we're going to be using these augments and these gobble gums. Let's go test it out. As most of you probably know, you could have used the Essex just a little bit earlier than when it released if you played Grief and got it in the weapon roulette. And if you had some eagle eyes while you were playing, you might have noticed that this thing has an insane headshot multiplier. And that's not where the Pack-a-Punch abilities end, because after we go ahead and get it Pack-a-Punch, we get an insane increase to its hipfire accuracy as well. No way, we actually got a perk out of the vending machine. I haven't seen that in forever. I'm gonna take that as a good omen for today. Here, quick revive. And even before we get this Pack-a-Punch, it's doing some pretty decent crit damage. We're hitting 573, and I think it can go either higher or lower depending on how close we are to the zombies and if we can hit the shot. And compared to its body damage, we're only hitting about like 86 to 100, a little 115 sneaking in there. And as for our pre-Pack-a-Punch ammo count, we have 12 rounds in the mag, or is it a clip with this? Am I actually gonna get it right this time? And about 90 rounds in reserve. So not bad for a marksman rifle so far, especially if we get a good increase after a Pack-a-Punch. So let's go ahead and see what our Pack-a-Punch increases are gonna be. So let's go ahead and scoop up Pack-a-Punch. So we go to 24 rounds in the clip or the mag and 128 in reserve. So not a big increase to reserve ammo, but our mag went up quite a bit. And how about our critical damage now that we have Pack-a-Punch? 2,024 damage, going up from 580. That's a huge increase without even an Aether tool upgrade. And like I mentioned before, let's go ahead and see that increase to the hip fire accuracy. I just got to put my crosshair near him and it's going exactly where I put my dot at, which is kind of crazy. So you can really tell if I'm being inaccurate if I'm over here missing shots, because the increase to the hip fire accuracy is actually nuts with this gun. And while we're on the topic of upgrades, sorry Dennis, you got to go down. Let's try and get our free dead shot over here. Let's see if I can actually hit these cans. It's been a while. I'm a little bit rusty. Uh-oh. We're fumbling. We're fumbling hard. I don't think we're getting that. And the reload speed, or the rechamber speed on this, isn't the slowest in the world. I think I have it built to be as fast as possible without getting speed cola, but maybe we should go ahead and pick that up and see what the difference would be like. So just for reference, this is the rechamber speed and our reload speed. Reload speed's very slow, but let's go ahead and pick up speed cola. And now our rechamber speed is still about the same. I don't know if speed cola would fix that. Maybe double tap would. And what about our reload speed? A bit faster. But I feel like that is going to be the main issue with this weapon, because we already know the crit damage is off the charts and the accuracy is very, very good. The thing that's going to be holding this weapon back, I feel like, is going to be us rechambering it. But I do kind of have a plan for that. So you may know that Deadshot does have an augment that allows you to have a chance of getting a bullet back in your magazine if you land a critical hit. And we do have our Deadshot cans over here on this fence, but let's get the round down a little bit and then see if we can hit those and get Deadshot a little bit early here. Because with it putting it back in our magazine, I'm almost positive we don't have to rechamber the weapon, because it's acting like the bullet really never left our gun. So it's going to kind of work similarly to how the marksman rifle or like sniper rifle upgrades worked in Cold War, where you have a chance to just have another bullet in your chamber. So we can possibly shoot 2, maybe even 3 bullets without having to rechamber the weapon at all. And that's if we combine that with our double tap augments that can do about the same thing. Oh, Mangler, what's up, buddy? Let's take a peek at what this is doing to armor just without any Aether upgrades or Deadshot. Not a whole lot, only 119 damage to the helmet. He still got it on, just knocked it off though, and now we're doing 2,000 damage to his head. That's what we like to see. Oh, and he's almost dead in just 2 headshots post-helmet. Quick 3 and he's gone. All right, time to lock in. Let's get this before this Mangler takes our head off. Okay, he's already blocking our shot. You're a bastard. For that, your arm is gone. Go ahead, try to shoot me again. See what happens. Go for it. Actually, you know what? You don't even have to. Okay, he went for it and it worked. Oh, it worked really well. There goes our quick revive. Bye-bye. All right, it's time. Locking in. Immediately missed. Missed again. Missed 3 times. Oh, wait, hold on. We're getting there. Mangler. Don't be a bitch. Okay. Uh-oh. We have an abomination spawning. Open up for me, buddy. How much are we doing to you? Still about the same, but we broke his face in 2 shots. So that's nice. The damage is really carrying right about now. Because I am being stubborn on our upgrades. And is that an insta-kill? I will happily take that. Thank you. And goodbye, abomination. I can hit the shot. Right about now. There we go. All right, now this time for real. No more messing around. We're getting it right here. No. Last one. Are you kidding me? What? You thought I missed all the cans and went down and died? Psh, get out of town. That would absolutely never happen to me. But now that we do have Deadshot, let's go ahead and see what the little added bonus damage is now. Like 200 damage? So 2,226. And does this get any sort of fire rate increase after Pack-a-Punch? I think it might get a tiny bit, but we did just see the effect of our Deadshot augment going off right there. Because we got to fire back-to-back shots like that without having to rechamber. And let's go ahead and get a nice little upgrade for this bad boy, shall we? So let's see what it's going to be like with a nice little blue rarity. Oh, it already doubled. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and throw out a prediction. Once we get this to like Pack 3 Legendary, I'm thinking we might hit upwards of like 60,000 damage. I might be aiming a little bit too high there. But us already hitting up to 4,000 headshot damage, only Pack 1 Blue Rarity, it's looking pretty good for us. Anyways, let's go ahead and get this to Pack-a-Punch 2. What's this called? The Colonel's Repeater? Is that a reference to something that I'm missing? Did the Kentucky Fried Chicken guy use one of these? I don't remember him having this in the commercial. But if he did, he'd be saying that it does 8,900 damage. It doubled again. Gross, dude. Disgusting amounts of damage. So to get ahead of this, let's go ahead and throw Napalm Burst on here. That way we can do a little extra damage to our Manglers and our Abominations when they show up. That was 13,000 damage. That's kind of disgusting. That's before we even pick up Elemental Pop for that even more boosted damage. And let's see if we can get lucky with this trial. And what do I get for my troubles, Sam? A lot of nothing. Our usual. Whatever. That got us enough salvage to get us up to purple, though. Are we going to double in damage again? What? Oh, we have insta-kill on. That was so confusing. I was wondering why we went from like 8,000 damage down to 800, but that was just the zombie's max health for this round. Now we are doing, if I can hit a shot, 13,000 damage to the zombies. So that's as much as we were doing to the Mangler with the added napalm damage effect. Oh, and there's our purple tiger camo. Let's go. Oh, Abomination. Nice to see you, pal. Let's see how we're doing against you with all these upgrades. You want to open up for me? Go ahead and say ah. There you go. 21,000 damage. Almost killed him in one shot. That's a 2-shot to an Abomination. That's nuts. Oh, we got enough to get to legendary. What's the damage looking like now? 17,000? Not that insane of an increase that we've seen from before, but I'm sure once we combine this with Pack 3, we're going to be looking at a whole lot of damage. Like 17,000 is still absolutely nuts, but I was expecting a bit of a higher jump. And we still have the double tap jump in fire rate to look forward to. Oh, there's the Nestling camo. I think it's the other one I'm looking for. That's still a very nice looking camo though. One of the better special camo lineups of any gun that's been added recently. And now we got enough for Pack 3. There we go. 35,000 damage? Okay, so not as much as I was thinking. Expectations were a little too high, but 35,000 damage still ain't bad. Holy shit. I guess we can see how this works with Frenzied. Still about the same. We just don't have to reload. Still have to rechamber, which is unfortunate. Wish we didn't have to rechamber when Frenzied or like Free Fire or something like that was active. That'd be cool. And it still does 35,000 damage against normal zombies too. What are we doing against an Abomination now that's fully maxed out? 57,000 damage. Okay, so maybe I wasn't so far off from the 60,000. It still could be about a 3-shot kill. 1 shot for each face, it's looking like. Oh, there it is. Fractural Plunge. It almost could be a Pack-a-Punch camo if it was animated. But what a perfect time for us to unlock that, because now we got the Wonder Fizz. Let's go ahead and grab us some Double Tap, some Death Perception, probably some Jug, Vulture Aid, and we will get the rest later. But what's our fire rate looking like now that we got Double Tap? Okay, that is a lot faster. Definitely helps with our rechamber speed, and I did see it go off, or at least our Deadshot augment go off right there. So we didn't have to rechamber, which significantly increases our fire rate. Does not improve speech though. Would be nice if it did. So far, I am really liking the Essex. Like, this thing is tearing. It's doing way better than I thought it would. Did we get a damage boost with Double Tap? I feel like we should have. 35,000 damage, all right. That's what we like to see. Now, it could be higher if we change some augments around, but then we want to get that nice little added bonus of getting a bullet back in our chamber every once in a while. I feel like I've said that to death, but I do feel like it will help us in some crazy situations once we get to the later rounds, and that's what we really want, just to see if this can survive on the later rounds. And we're going to get closer to the rounds where bullet weapons start to fall off very soon here. I don't even really need to aim down sight with this, like, at all. I'm just walking around hip firing, nailing every shot. But I'm sure if you're playing on controller, this is a monster with Deadshot. And I want to see how much damage we're doing to this Mangler. That was 6,000 just to the helmet. And 62,000 to the head. So this is actually kind of an elite Slayer. Ooh. Got a nice little triple burst right there. And there's Mystic Gold. Okay, now that's all our perks. Let's make our way down to the bank and see if we can survive in there. This is actually very satisfying to use. It's just point, click, gone. Almost like the Sour Patch Kids of guns. Well, let's see if this bad boy can survive up on the bank counter. Oh, Abomination. Perfect timing. 66,000 damage. Yeah, eat that. I do not want to reload right now. Yep, you are not an issue, buddy. Why don't you go ahead and get out of here? And as for all the zombies, you guys can leave too. Another one? I really took you out that fast? You haven't had enough? Still hungry for more? Okay, let's not get crazy. Let's relax a little bit. There you go. No, you guys go to the decoy. Be distracted. Ooh. Does this have good, like, penetration? Pause. Like, can we collab a decent amount with this? Because if we can, then this spot might be disgusting with this gun. We're on round 30 now. Can it keep up the pace? We are still only doing 35,000 damage. I say only, but that's a fat amount. But I think the zombie health will outclass that close to round 40, maybe late 30s. So once this stops one-shotting, then we might be in some trouble. But if we can get this firing faster, or at least get a little bit used to shooting it a little quicker, then maybe that won't be an issue for us. So I don't know if this really has the fire rate for us to be camping in here, but you know, we had to give it a shot. And for the sake of testing after this round, I'm going to switch out our ammo augments for damaging ones just to see where this thing really maxes out at. Because maybe the ammo augments are good for early rounds, but later rounds, maybe we want something that can give a little more oof or oomph. Let's go swap them. So we'll go with Deadhead, Double Impact, and Citrus Focus should be good. Okay, so it looks like now we are doing... Oh, we did up to 56,000 damage. That was with successive hits to the same target. But our base damage is looking like 37. So yeah, we could hit up to 60,000 without that little elemental boost. And if we can actually collat the zombies, that should count as successive hits, right? So if they're not dying to our first shot, our second shot should absolutely obliterate them. Oh, and here's our perfect test subject. What's up, Abomination? I think I just saw 80,000 damage right there. Am I high? Ooh, 70,000. Okay, we might have to step out of here for a second. Bring the zombies out into the fresh air to beat their ass. Abomination, open up. There it is. Yeah, 70,000 damage. And then only did 9,000 for the kill right there. I guess that's all he had left. What about on our Mangler buddy? 65,000. Now, I wonder if this double tap augment with like successive hits on the same target, if that damage is going to multiply with Shatter Blast. That would be nuts. Is it just you, Mangler? All right. You get to solo this. 98,000 damage, dude. We weren't getting damage numbers that high unless we were using a melee weapon. All right, well, all there's left to do is to try to get this up to health cap and see if there is a round where this weapon falls off at, or if we can just make it all the way up there and beat these zombies to death at their maximum health. All right, it is round 49, and now we are officially no longer one-shotting the zombies, unfortunately. We can still one-shot the vermins, though, so that's good. Well, up until last round, we could one-shot basically any zombie that wasn't armored, and now our unarmored zombies are eating shots, so this can go a pretty long time and still do a significant amount of damage, but I would only really recommend using this on a higher round if you're using it just for elites, and if you want to shake the hand of every single zombie that you're going to send to Valhalla on every single round. It just takes an absurd amount of time to get through these rounds. I've been trying to throw as many nades as possible, you know, using mutant injectors where I can, throwing decoys constantly. It's just a struggle only using this to get through. Like, we're getting the kills. They're coming. But damn, does it take forever. And there was only really one time where ammo kind of became a problem for me. And by a problem, I mean like running out of it. And that was at round 41. I was getting close to running out, but there really wasn't an issue. You know, we could just buy it real quick on one of our trains around the roof. But speaking of ammo, might as well use our free fire gobblegum and see if it's any different from our frenzy guard. I don't think it would be. Oh, we're gonna have to use our frenzy guard anyways. But yeah, we're still gonna have to bolt back our weapon here. Our Essex does not get a relief from bolting it back, unfortunately. I really think all bolt action weapons should not have to be bolted when frenzied or free fire is activated. Kind of seems like a waste. Like, yeah, we get infinite ammo or whatever, but it's not like we get that much of a benefit from it besides not running to the ammo cache. Kind of underwhelming. Like, free fire can make weapons like the Sigma or the RPG or just like a whole lot of other different weapons into completely different beasts whenever you activate it, but for this, not so much. Oh, very lucky not to die right there. I'm very unlucky these guys aren't dropping me any decoys because I'm still trying to work on my afterlife camo and they're not giving me any help. Oh, can I grab some? There we go. Let's throw that down. Let's see if we can't get a little camo progress here. And against the Manglers, still hitting that 65,000 damage, but it is taking more than a few shots to take them down. So damage has not changed. Their health has gone up. And the amount of shots we need to fire per round has gone up dramatically. But they are just eating shots like never before. I really hope Shatter Blast is good when it comes out. I know we can kind of get it to work right now if we just let it randomly roll through Elemental Pop, but that ain't the same. I need it to only go off. I want to solely use Shatter Blast. Oh, and here's round 50 with the Abomination, still doing 105,000 damage to him. I think that's where it maxes out at. I haven't seen anything higher than that unless we had an insta-kill going. But that ain't bad. Still a great elite killer, but kind of a liability on these higher rounds unless you're fine with running a 5k on every single round. Uh-oh, we're in trouble. Mutant injector. I think we should probably just try to exfil here. Because we're not going to be doing any more damage than we are currently. And the zombies are just getting stronger. It might take us a whole nother hour to get 5 rounds. So let's grab that nuke. And let's make our way towards that exfil radio. Let's get the hell out of here. And hopefully they don't make it too difficult on us. And you know what? Good on you, Treyarch. we're about a week into the season, and the exfil timer is still working. They might have cracked the code. As for you, Abomination, not so lucky. Yeah, go ahead and yell. You gotta open the mouth, though, when you yell. You can't just yell with that shit closed. There we go. And this should about do it right here. Nope. There. Perfect. All right, let's go, not Raptor 1. And real quick, here is a look at the fractal camo that I was so excited about. Honestly, I think the multiplayer and the Warzone variants of this might just be a little bit better, but this ain't bad. It's pretty good looking camo. Anyways, overall review of the Essex. It's a very, very good gun. It can definitely last you up until like the 40s, and then if you still want to use it, you can, but it's just going to take forever to get through each individual round, having to headshot each zombie probably multiple times in between each rechambering of the weapon. But it still would be useful as an elite or special zombie killer in those higher rounds if you want to use something that's a little more faster paced and then bring this out to supplement that. I think that would work. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for watching. I truly appreciate our love and support, and I will see you in the next one. Later.